All right, so yeah, let's get this town hall started. I know it's a Sunday and you guys are busy, so I don't want to keep hold too much of you guys' time here. Okay, let's see. It would be cool if you could start since it's the first time by talking about your why and your bigger picture. So basically, yeah, I think we're good to all these points for sure. But yes, I just want to say welcome to everyone to the first town hall. Hope I made a good point here. I guess I will start. Uh, the why. Why Pumpville? So yeah, this initially started, and if you guys heard this already, then I apologize. But to those of you who are new, so this initially started because of just we just had this really cool idea. We've always wanted to kind of make a game, me and my wife. It's kind of always been something that we've been passionate about trying it out. And then yeah, we're crypto people too, so we just kind of figured let's try to build something really cool. We didn't expect the response that it got because honestly, we were blown away that a lot of people kind of gravitated towards the project. Um, and like, yeah, we always this is like our baby, you know. So like we want to grow this into like one of the top like social games on Solana, right? Like that's where we want to kind of take this, just like a social hub, basically, like on Solana, right? So that's kind of how we started, and like just judging by like the reactions and everything, it's like we can see like the potential even getting bigger, right? So wait, we already have a couple questions. So let me just start off with that, right? Let me get to the questions a little bit later. Do you want to speak? Do you want to build a team? Okay, let me answer this question first too. Then, how big do you want to become this? Do you want to build a team, or is this something you want to build with your wife to keep like your baby instead of needing to deal with investors? Well, obviously, like we want everyone like to be using this, right? This is how big we want it to become. So when it does get to that point, obviously more than that, it's going to become like a we want it to become like a long sustainable type of thing, right? So obviously we will need to build a team. Um, Obviously, like I said, it is our baby. But as it grows, we can't. We need to have a team. It's not realistic for us two to just be doing this, right? But it is still the early stages, and we do have like a vision of how we want to kind of shape it. But that's why we always ask for community input, right? Because this is truly like a community project as well. With all your inputs that you guys have, we try to implement all the little things into the game itself too, so that the community can kind of feel like it becomes their baby as well, if that makes sense. Hope that answered your question, Hofi. Raising hand, just want to give a quick introduction. Yes. So yes, okay. So yeah, we will have more time for questions from the community. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys just in general like an update of what you guys can kind of look forward to, what we've kind of observed and everything and learned from like the last like it's only been about 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks maybe. I don't even know where time goes to be honest. uh, it's just eat, sleep, Pumpville, repeat, you know. So yeah, I mean, we really didn't expect like this type of like growth because it's just been like honestly pure organic up to this point, which is crazy. And that's just a testament to like I guess the reaction and just how much people are actually starting to like the game. Um, which gives us more motivation because every time we see new members, new active users, it's just like we're doing something right, right? We can the more just one user at a time, right? We see like I'm starting to see like in the actual game itself, like new users would come in and then we would explain and actually show them in the game, like socialize with them, which is what the purpose of this is for. And then they would teach new users how to play, and then they become hooked. And then I would start to see that those new users, anytime a new user came, they just paid forward and they kind of direct everyone as well, right? So it really is kind of growing into something really special right now, right? And I hope you guys are having fun with the game. Things are a little chaotic because it's just because we didn't expect this sort of reaction. Like there's so many ideas all over the place, to be totally honest, right? So I just wanted like more of like a clear direction, just to kind of go through all these ideas and just really finalize a bunch of them, right? And it's a good way for you guys to kind of understand like what's to come, like what can I look forward to, what we're working on, right? Uh, let's see. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm just also reading the chat at the same time. Agree up. So okay. So yeah, I guess we'll first start off with like some like what to look forward to. What are some like upcoming features? Like what are we working on, right? So the main thing right now is because we're at such an early phase. Like building stuff takes a lot of time if we want to do it properly, and like how we see this, like we want it to be really big. So we need to make sure like our foundation is just solid, right? And the main thing we're trying to focus on right now is just to have like our gameplay down, right? Because without like a addicting gameplay or a reason for it to be fun, like there's really no point of a Web3 game. It should be fun and people should be addicted and continue wanting to play for like a purpose, right? So the things that we're trying to really hone in and focus on right now is to just get that gameplay down, right? So we want to get like a lot more activities going on and ways to earn XP and stuff like that though. So we are slowly building out all of these features and they all kind of connect together, right? So a lot of the things right now that we want to do and focus on are like right now there's like fishing, there's like those treasure hunts, there's like battle arenas right now, but sometimes you need people to play the battle arenas or sometimes you just want to do different things. I see a lot of people just kind of really addicted to fishing, so that's all they would do. But we don't want that to be the only thing that you can do to gain experience and stuff like that, right? So basically, we want to expand and just have something for all types of people to just enjoy. That's I want to go fishing. No, wait, I want to go gain XP doing some other things, right? So right now we're trying to get like some sort of like crafting, hunting. These have been like the most highly requested things that I always constantly hear, right? We need people to kind of like start grinding for certain things or just to feel that like me playing the game is I'm gaining something from it, right? And the good thing about our game is because it's like a like a cute little pixel game too. It's just very easy to navigate and like the loading time is pretty fast compared to like those heavy games. I don't think there's much lag or anything, so it's a very easy thing to I guess just run on the system and stuff. So we can implement like crafting, hunting, like all of these types of things. Like we want it to connect to each other, right? So for example, we can start implementing soon, like starting off with just like a simple crafting mechanism, right? And how do we do this? Like, let's say we have like a bunch of sticks that or some sort of items that you guys can start to collect now, and then there's a reason for collecting these items, right? So maybe you can have like three different sticks or something in like a way to gather them, and then you can craft them into like let's say a fishing rod, or let's say like a weapon, right? And then it's like, why do we need a weapon? Well, from there we can then start talking about like building the system out for okay, you can use this weapon to fight enemies, and then when you fight enemies, you can start gaining experience, right? So we want to give just a lot of things for people to do, right? And then we can start implementing hunting. So once we start getting the foundation, or just focus on like one simple thing, like let's say starting with crafting, right? Then we can build these other things out a lot quicker and a lot easier, right? So this is kind of what we want to focus on. We want to have like a lot of ways to gain experience, so that like there's always just something to do, or just like just yeah, start like grinding for that experience and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the chat again. Is everyone following me so far? I know I sometimes tend to ramble, but it's just because like I'm trying to get all these ideas out, and we're just really passionate about the project, right? We just want to make sure that we are just doing the best that we can to provide like a solid experience, right? Um, and the thing is, there's a reason why we're taking our time with this, right? Because like once we need to make sure that like these steady foundation, this will be like the way for us to onboard users a lot easier. We don't want to have like just like some half-ass product, right? And when an influx of people start to come in, when we start to get more eyes on us, like we don't want like the mistakes to be there, and just like have like a buggy product. It's better to just be prepared, um, and just like make sure that all these little kinks are kind of taken care of, so that when we are ready for like the influx of people and more eyes on us, that like they don't leave because there's too many bugs, right? They don't leave because the user experience is unpleasant or something like that, right? It should be the opposite way around, right? When they come, they should want to stay because there's so many things to do, right? Oh, I want to start grinding. Why do we need XP? You know, these everything kind of ties in together, right? Hope everyone is following up with me so far. So yes, crafting, hunting, fighting enemies, right? All this comes tie in with the leveling up system, right? I just want everyone to kind of understand the whole vision of like we want to make this Pumpville like just like flooded with a bunch of like all these different ways and activities to keep you hooked, like keep you just coming back to Pumpville, because we want to grow like it's a game after all, right? So the main purpose of a game is to have players play it, especially in a multiplayer one, right? So one by one, we want to grow like our active online users, right? Like I continue to see like every day now, there's at least like minimum like 10 people always online or something. There's more sometimes, but it's maybe less sometimes, but on average, right? So yeah, it is the game after all. We need to make sure that people are having fun playing this game, right? Uh, I guess we could kind of pause here, because that's kind of like what I wanted everyone to just understand, like our goal so far and what we've been kind of trying to focus and work on. Uh, that's kind of segues into the next thing, like fishing, right? We understand that fishing is basically like one of the main things, and like a lot of people like have fun with it, even though it's such a simple fishing game, right? But we do realize, I guess the mistake that we made was that we finished. I think it was recommended, and then we busted out the fishing and launched it like I think it was like a day later or something like that. It was just really quick, right? I think that might have been like maybe our mistake. We just got too excited trying to push it out because the community was so excited about it, right? But as a result, you know, there's these stupid fishing line bugs. Every bug report that I see is related to fishing, and then I always try to not see the bugs report channel. It's just been yeah ridiculous. So like fishing, we wanna hone the fishing mechanisms as well, make it a little bit more, instead of like the fishing lines all over the place. Like I want to stay away from things that can cause more bugs and just get the foundation of the gameplay down first. So maybe we might need to simplify fishing a little bit, where you don't see the real-time movement of the bobs or something, you know, the fishing lines, right? Like we want to, because that's such an annoying visual glitch for me. Like any newcomer that comes to the game, if they see these like fishing lines across the game, that's no good. We're trying to kind of onboard new players right now, right? We're in the onboard like early stages where we want to get like a core group of people, and this has been the perfect proof of concept. Like the fact that like a lot of you day after day come and show up to the streams as well consistently just shows that like this game does have substance, right? So the lines are fun. I hate them personally, so I'm getting rid of them. I don't care. Off away with the lines. No more fishing lines. So expect that to come soon, right? Uh, Now, at the same time, once we start getting all these, you know, new things to do like crafting, hunting, fishing, fighting enemies, etc., right? We don't need to have like a sophisticated complex system. Just like we want to get like the foundation or the basics of each thing down. So that way, at least at the very minimum, like those things can always be improved on later. But if we have something to do, like for example, fishing, we just put it out there, right? Even though it wasn't completely perfect. But once we start to get all those things down, then uh, these are all leading up to like why what's the point of XP and all that stuff, right? But then we can get like leaderboards up which we want, and have like more of like a competitive aspect to the game as well, right? We want to give people options. Okay, so I think that said, this is a good spot to kind of, I guess, open it up a little bit because I want to go through each of the topics and stuff we want to discuss, and then maybe hear your guys's like point of view or concerns. Or if you have questions about the topics I just talked about right now, now is the time to kind of ask so that we can kind of all be on the same page. All right, so I'll open up questions. If anyone wants to come and talk, please raise your hand or the requesting, and I'll let you up because yeah, I would love to hear feedback from you guys so far. Yeah, and it could be any type of feedback. Anything's welcome. If there's something that's like, I don't really like this, or I don't know why this is happening, I want to hear it. This is the whole part of the building process, right? Like, I want to hear what's good, what's bad, um, all these things. Okay, so twist off, you're up. Yes.
Oh,
You have a
I was
question or
just
something?
no, it was just a piggyback on the last part of what you were just speaking of, about how I see it. I agree. And I think like with all the new people coming to the game, the more we work on making it so like if someone like we're all 18 days into this project and it seems second nature to us, but for somebody that's just finding out about it right now, to make it as easy as possible for them to just, oh, I have interest, and then be able to get right into the game and have a quick understanding of what's going on and what it's about, and to how to make it as easy as possible for them to be like, oh, okay, I can play this. This is how the tokens involved. This is what the economy is, and this is how playing the game would be addictive or whatever. That focusing on that and like lending that to the idea of getting the whatever idea we're working on started, getting it to a point where it's working, but if it has some bugs, to address those or put the priority to address those, but then to move on to the next thing, allows us to get the game as quickly as possible to the point where it's as easy as possible for the new people to come and then quickly get up to speed with how the game works and why playing it is fun and addictive and everything. That's all I wanted to say for now.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that. That's a great point. That is kind of something that brings me to like another point I was going to talk about a little bit later, but might as well talk about that now. Basically, yeah, you hit it right on the head, right? We need to really also focus on like how we can make onboarding newcomers as easy as possible, right? Right now, like I will admit, for a newcomer, they come into the game, and if it wasn't for like maybe like the helpful community, like talking to them and stuff, there is no real like guidance or anything along those lines. Like it might be very confusing to a new user, right? So we need to focus on kind of making those types of experiences better for like the new users as well, right? So we're gonna have things like an info booth, right? Like maybe it'll just be like a building in the map, like right away for like a newcomer, right? They can go straight there, or maybe it could just be like a simple thing like a pop up, like right in the beginning, and it just gives you like a tutorial, like a basic tutorial on like exactly what this is, like what you can do, like what the XP you can earn XP these ways, and maybe they can read the tutorial. But another fun thing I thought we could do was like I don't know how I don't know like how this would exactly work, but I was thinking like we could try to have like an NPC greet like all newcomers, right in the beginning. If there's a new player, then we somehow make the NPC kind of greet them, and they would act as like the info booth. Like the way I see it right now, like the best way to onboard new users, and we've done it personally ourselves as well, is like when a new person is there, people in the community just talking to them and kind of telling them what to do is like the best way. I've seen like new people that have we've done this exact same thing like as community or the helpful community members, and then they become hooked. The new people become hooked, right? And then I see this starting to happen a lot now, right? And then they tell the newcomers, hey, this is what you can do. This is what you can do. This is what you can do. But imagine we have numerous things that people can do, right? So if we could figure out like this, something like this, which is very easy for and like kind of welcoming for the new player, even if it means like an NPC is programmed to like kind of go approach anyone that's new and then just like I don't know, like tell them in chat or something like this is you can do this or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense, but that is something we want to focus on as well, right? The whole onboarding and user experience, stuff like that. But I think these are the types of things we talk about when we say like we want to build this properly and kind of like how can I put this? Yeah, just build the right way. Like we're not trying to build like rush this or anything. So I think that's what I think a lot of people also should kind of understand is like this is not your typical like pump and dump like shit coin. It really is not, right? We're trying to build something special. So that takes time. So this is the reason why we keep like reiterating these points, right? We want to have like all of this stuff so that like later down in the future when like inevitably the eyes do come to us, we need to be ready. Like we don't want to be dealing with, and luckily like right now we're just like a small community that's growing, but like imagine if like we had this fishing line bug when we have like hundreds and thousands of users playing. That's no bueno, right? So yes, hope that makes sense. Quantum, you have a question. Can you make the Pump Fun live stream more lively, following users and whatnot? Dual streaming to YouTube and Twitch. If you implemented a spectator mode in game that spectates different areas, you could live stream that. Yes, so there is currently like a spectator mode and like a following mode. It's like the keys O shows you like the spectator mode, and the key P shows you like some sort of following mode, but it's not really good. Like I get what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, I do think that yeah, live stream making it more lively, because I think the live stream is a little, unless like I'm streaming, like we usually just leave the live stream on, just so that you know we're on the Pump Fun live page and stuff like that. But nothing is really going on when I'm not there, right? So you're right. This is something that maybe we should focus a little bit more on doing, or finding at least ways to make it more lively. Like, hold on, let's see. Stuck in spectator mode. Cannot type or move. Yeah, there's bugs with spectator mode and stuff like that too, right? So that's those are the types of things we're trying to fix, like all these bugs here and there. Let's see. I don't know if that answered your question, Quantum. But yes, that is something that we can definitely look into on like how we can make it a little bit more lively, right? Jader, quests are really good for that. An NPC gives you initial quests such as catch a fish and bring it to me. Then you move on to the next introductory quest. Later daily quests follows. That way the new players know what they have to do. That's awesome. I think that's a good way for sure. Maybe the NPC can greet you, and then it just brings you straight to like a quest, right? I think quests are something that could be just really fun overall as well, and just another thing for someone to do. Hold on, I have to write all of these down. Make sure that I'm hitting a bunch of points. But yeah, we always were going to quests, so I think that could kind of be used together perfectly as well. Because we want to also kind of build out like the rewards kind of thing, where like let's say you have like a daily reward, or like a daily like a streak. If you log in every day, like something happens, right? Or maybe like if you log in for like 7 days straight, you get like a certain special item or something like that, right? Build XP. That'll keep like user retention up as well, right? And then once they start to kind of see that, and then they start to gain experience. Right now, there's not like a clear-cut system on like what each thing does necessarily, right? So I guess that's where people might have been a little bit confused and might have left. But I'm saying like once we have all of those foundations and all those little activities here and there, and it's very clear for people to just understand and know what's going on, uh, it will definitely help with retention. If that makes sense. Does
Yeah, it
that
does. Thank you.
okay? Was there any other questions? Sorry. Oh, Archie just left. I'm sorry. Okay, in the meantime, while we figure that out, Ho-Fi says, here's an idea of what we did on a project that I work with. Imagine a ruin that needs 10,000 stones and 10,000 pieces of lumber to rebuild into a church castle. All players together can collect items and bring it piece by piece to the ruin to rebuild. Every action rebuilds it step by step, and at the end, it shows who contributed how much, and everyone who participated gets rewarded. Work like a charm and built an amazing community. Plus, you have a great story to tell about community and teamwork for social media. Okay, let me kind of digest that. So yes, like I think the main thing there is you're talking about like working together collectively, right? Some sort of activity. In this case, it could be like 10,000 stones, 10,000 whatever. Teamwork element. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think we have mentioned that plenty some ideas related to teamwork stuff like in the past streams. I do remember specifically we did talk about that. Right? So yes, teamwork elements. I think one of the ideas was like some sort of puzzle teamwork game, stuff like that. But yes, I think a teamwork type of activity would be really fun too. At the same time, I do think we also do need like some sort of like competitive PvP type of stuff on top of that as well, right? So there's options for both, right? But yes, I do believe a teamwork related type of activity would be fun because it is about like the community and the game itself is very social related as well, right? So that would be really fun. I think not necessarily teamwork, but just something that people can do together. Like I think the other day we in stream we played like our own version of hide and seek. I don't remember. I don't know if some of you were there for it, but yeah, the hide and seek. I think that was really fun. So that was something that like we did together as a group. So yeah, definitely teamwork element related stuff. Let me write this down. Teamwork. Yes, the Archie Nook says the teamwork to build a puzzle. So that was an idea that was mentioned on stream, where it's just like there's different pieces of the puzzle that are scattered on the island, and then like you go around trying to collect the puzzle pieces and then work together as a team. And then if you participate in that, then you all get like XP and like prizes or like rewards or something like that, right? So yeah, that's a great suggestion for sure. Wait, what happened to Dope? Dope is technical difficulties. Okay, no problem. Oh, you've invited to speak. Okay, Dope I think is back.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. What's up,
All right,
Dope?
yeah. I have no clue what was going on.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, nice to meet everyone. I was just kind of sitting back listening to everything, just trying to take it all in, but as far as like retaining players, I kind of wanted to hit on that first.
Yes, perfect.
Um,
Yes.
kind of piggyback off that last conversation. But I was talking about this earlier, and obviously there were some other people who had talked about this, but that's gonna all come down to game loop. You know, you have to have a good game loop to where people have a reason to log in every day. And so you had mentioned stuff like daily quests. That's a good idea. Um, you know, I talked about mini games like roasting marshmallows, whatever that would entail. You know, maybe picking up sticks, like you said earlier. You could use the sticks to build a fishing rod, or you can use it to roast marshmallows, and then those marshmallows can be sold, or they can be used for a power boost of some sort. But the idea really is to create all these little mini games, mini skills that end up adding up over time. So there is a plethora of things to do when you get into a game. And then you can build upon those skills later on. So they don't have to be very in depth. You know, someone earlier was talking about, and I think they're pretty new here, but they were saying, add more fish, add more fish. It's like, okay, it's not a bad idea, but I think the better thing to do would be to um, add other skills first, and then kind of like make it more detailed. So what we have now for fish, what do we have, like 6 or 7 different fish that you can catch? Well, let's go into depth with that. Let's make a cooking skill and then be able to use those fish to make different meals in which you can use those meals for power ups or to sell to an NPC for money. So it's like, you kind of want to like make things at a base level first, and then kind of work on that and then make it more detailed. You don't want to just like go all in on one thing right now, because then that becomes, that's kind of boring, So just to be upfront about it. But like I said, it's gonna be, you basically want to create all these little mini games, all these little different skills that people can do, and then kind of connect them all together. And that's gonna be the main thing to retain people's attention on the game. Because right now they're probably coming in there, they're fishing, they're walking around finding some treasure, they're doing some battle arena when there are people there, but it's not enough to retain them. And obviously there's a bunch of us here that are passionate about the project, and we're going to stick around because we believe in it. But the people that we're letting in, these people, they're degens, they're it takes a lot to retain their attention, you know. So if we're trying to convert people over to the game, we definitely need a good game loop. And then as far as, I guess I would say, getting people into the game and making sure they know what to do, the quest idea is a great idea. I love that idea. They get into the game, they're greeted by an NPC, and then they have like a 5 or 6, maybe even 10 quests that they do once we have that many skills to kind of give them an introduction to the game and what they do. But you don't want to baby them too much. That's something I want to kind of put out there, because I mean, everyone in here has played a video game before. If you get into a video game, obviously you want that kind of wonder to the game. You want there to be some sort of wonder to the game, and you don't want everything thrown at you to be like, okay, well, this is the whole game now, I know. So yeah, it's great to have a quest. It's great to have an NPC to kind of show you the way, kind of guide you a little bit in the beginning, but don't make it to where it's like they tell you exactly how to do everything. You have to always have some wonder to a game, which is what makes the magic of the game. So that's just kind of some advice I wanted to give you too. But um, you know, besides all that, I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. I play a lot of games like this. I play Stardew Valley, Graveyard Keeper. Um, I've played Pokemon growing up, so I mean, games like this, they have a place in my heart. I love, you know, these type of games where they're just very simple, very relaxing, cozy type games. So I think you guys are doing a great job. I love the community, and yeah, I just wanted to give my input on all that. So
Oh yeah, thanks you so much. I think honestly, you were able to articulate exactly what I was trying to say, much better. But yeah, you basically just said exactly what I was trying to say. I don't know if mine came out. Mine tends to come out a little bit all jumbled, but you definitely hit it right on the head, nail on the head. That's exactly what we are trying to do, right? This game loop thing you're talking about, like that's exactly just build out all the little foundations of like these little things to do, right? And they all kind of tie in together. But yes, 100% agree with everything that you just said there, and appreciate your support for sure. Was there any other question you had, Dope, or was that or twist off? I
uh,
think you.
that was
Oh,
pretty
oh,
much it. I
sorry.
just wanted to chime in what I was thinking about at the time. I'm sure I'll have more later.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Appreciate that. Yes. Twist off. Yes, you raise your hand.
No, I was having a reaction to what he said. I think it was well said. I think all of us in some ways and at some times have shown a shared vision that could be explained something similarly like that. And uh, I think we all want that. And I just wanted to distill that uh, that idea and turn it into like a function for what this group should do. And it's like what I think is that from that idea, that we should decide what's the best route of like the specific steps of the plan of how much to build one thing out before moving on, and how much to like the pace of which to hold ourselves accountable to, like, okay, we want to kind of be on this general pace of having a new thing, having a new thing, having a new thing, to kind of navigate a plan of how deep to get into something before saying, okay, it's at a point where we should, to marry both worlds of making sure something works really well, but also paying focus to like making sure that we have a bunch of new things and like figuring out how to tie it all together. That's it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that as well. I think Archie Nook says we need a calendar for short term and long term goals. I think it's a good idea, to be honest. But just like tying on to what Twistoff also said, yeah, I think like it's just like I how can I put this? The stuff like this, the town hall, for example, right? This is where I get to hear like what people think are like what they think should be like the priorities, right? Because like right now, don't want to spend like obviously too much time on like too long on like specific things, right? Like as Dope said previously, it's better to build out all these small things, even if they're not perfect, but just like keep building out these small things. And in fact, it's probably easier to build out these like small foundations first rather than kind of trying to like kind of focus on like one thing too long. Right? That'll just be better for the game in the long term as well. Uh yeah, great points, everybody. I'm loving this. So Hajime King says we need to exchange the gold to Pumpville tokens. So yeah, that actually is kind of tying into like our next thing. So far we have like just a bunch of stuff that we need to do, like crafting, hunting, all that stuff. Like that seems like it should be like a priority because it seems like everyone kind of agrees, right? Because that will kind of help and make things like kind of onboarding new players, user retention. It all leads into that anyway, so it's better to build that foundation out. Let's see. Also, don't focus on the game too much. All players here are investors. We need to pay attention to the token too. Yes. What are your plans about casino? I mean, yes, that does bring me to another point as well, right? Yes, we understand it is like token related as well. But again, like we said, like when if we were to market too quickly, when everything's not ready, right? In their mobile devices. I think we just touched on that. Is there an app that translates Godot code to app form? I can look into that. I'm not like a Godot expert or anything along those lines, but I'm always curious, so I can always look into that study and see if that is pans out. We'll figure it out later. We just need to improve the web game. I agreed. Oh, dope. Yes, you
Yeah,
want to say? Yep.
yeah. So I was just gonna chime in on the mobile thing. I was talking about it earlier, but now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I think the better thing, especially right now, were to be to make it more of a long-term thing. Um, just because I mean, someone else mentioned more people trade meme coins on the computer, which is actually false. They don't. Majority of people who are trading coins are trading them on like Phantom Wallet. But I think that it's going to take a lot of like I mean, I'm not a coder or anything, but I do understand a little bit of it. Converting it right now to mobile would just take too much time. And even like short to medium, it just wouldn't make sense right now because, like we talked earlier, the main thing is we're trying to get a good game loop going and we're trying to retain players and we're trying to get people's attention to keep them here, to hold the coin, to use the coin in game, and to also keep playing the game every day. So that's like the main thing we're focused on, or at least I think we should be focused on. Um, so I kind of agree with you. I think your original plan to make it more of a long term deal is better because once we get all this stuff figured out and we have people playing the game and there's hundreds of people playing every day, then you can kind of focus on, okay, well, how do we make this an app? How do we make it a downloadable app so people can just download it, log in with their email or Phantom Wallet, whatever the case is. So I kind of agree with you there. I think it's good if we have people in the community kind of just be like, we can hold this off for later, because if we keep talking about it, it's gonna put pressure on you to kind of want to start doing it. But I don't think we should. Um, also, I wanted to kind of key in on what we were talking about earlier about game loop. Is the best way to do it, in my opinion, is start small, and then the next thing that you do after you finish a skill or whatever, crafting, whatever it is, do something that connects into that last thing that you coded in there. So, for instance, if you decide to make a wood chopping skill, which you talked about, where you can chop wood and then use that wood to craft a rod. Well, now that you made the wood chopping skill, it's a very basic skill. You can get an axe. Maybe there's different tiers of axes. You chop the wood, you get the wood. Now the next skill that you do the next week later, it could be the marshmallow skill. Well, why do we do the marshmallow skill next? Because it ties into the wood cutting skill. So every time you do something, it can tie into something that you've done before, which is really creating what I said earlier, connecting everything together and kind of creating that really good game loop. So when we start voting on this stuff, let's keep in mind that we need to be voting on things that make sense. So I mean, it would make sense to do the wood cutting this week, and I'm just saying this. It doesn't have to be this week, but say we do the wood cutting this week, then the next week we do something that kind of connects into that. So like later on the road, you don't have to find something else that connects, and there's already another skill that connects to it, and then you can build on that. So I mean, that's just the way I'm thinking about it from just like years. I mean, I've been playing these kind of games since the '90s, and so it really makes sense to me to do it that kind of way. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of mini skills is good too. And the whole thing with the marshmallow, the reason I was really trying to get that going is because it doesn't even have to be a core part of the game. It could literally just be something that you do just for content. Like, and the way I'm thinking about it is, okay, the game already feels kind of cozy as it is. It's like a cozy game. You have all these Pumpville memes coming together, people are talking, they're fishing together, having a good time. Well, now you have like something where you're around a fire, everyone's roasting marshmallows. You clip that along with clipping everyone fishing together, along clipping everyone in a battle arena. You make a 20-second to 30-second video. That's your ad right there. That's your content right there. And people who are into these type of games, I'm telling you right now, they will flood in seeing something like that, because they people love these type of cozy games. I mean, look at the people that play Stardew Valley. Look at the people that play, um, Graveyard Keeper's another gem. A lot of people don't know about that one, but that's a good game too. People who play, Animal Crossing, stuff like that. There is a niche there is a niche community for this type of stuff. Now it is a blockchain game, so it's going to be harder to get to those type of people. But the people who do play those games who are in this community already, they will flood in if they see stuff like that, because it brings people together. It doesn't have to be this main core part of the game that's game changing or that makes you a ton of in-game money, or it just has to be something that's fun. And so the fishing thing was perfect when you did it, because it brought everyone together. It was something to do, and people love to fish. So you do stuff like that around the map. You make these little mini games or these little mini skills, and then later on you can build on top of them. That's how you really do it. Um, and so another game I'd like to point out is there's a game called Brighter Shores, and you should go check it out if you don't know about it. It's created by one of the co-creators of RuneScape. So one of the original creators of RuneScape made this game called Brighter Shores. Now it's a lot different than this game, obviously. It's just a regular game on Steam that you can play. But the thing I like about it is they made all of these different skills. They're very, very basic skills. So, for instance, they got something like foraging. And so on every part of the map, and there's like 4 different areas in the map right now. It's very basic. You go to different areas in each area of the map, and every area has a different skill or level in which you can forage. So, for instance, you can forage maybe pears in this area if you're maybe this amount of XP, since we have XP in the game. And then when you get to another certain amount of XP, you can forge this other stuff. Maybe it's apples, or maybe it's, carrots, or whatever it is. And the higher you get in XP, the more higher quality stuff that you can forage, which is worth more in-game coins. So that's just kind of like an idea I'm throwing around too. You can use XP in that kind of way. Um, but we were talking about earlier about XP, and I think another good thing to do with that is also the more XP you get over time, the more you have access to, and whether that be maybe 2 different areas, maybe there could be a locked area in the future, where, once you hit 100,000 XP, you're allowed to go into that area. And you see, this incentivizes people to actually continue to play the game because there's wonder. They're like, okay, well, man, I gotta get 100,000 XP because I mean, I gotta know what's in that area. So it's stuff like that that's gonna retain people as well. I just kind of wanted to put that out there.
Okay, dope. You are just taking the words straight out of my mouth. Like everything I've wanted to say, you're just articulating them so much better. Well said. That's exactly everything you've said right now is just exactly what I've been trying to articulate myself. I don't know if it's coming off as well as Mr. Dope over here. But like what you said, for example, right? Like when we implemented fishing, that was a simple thing that just brought people together. It's just something to do. So the main thing is like I want to replicate that. I want to have a bunch of different types of fishing stuff. Like not fishing per se, but I'm saying like replicate that and just replicate that over and over and over again. Um, Through things like crafting, through things like hunting. For example, you could even bring like those things together and make, as long as we make sure that they all kind of work together. You know what I mean? For example, an idea I had was like there could be just like an area where it's just maybe trees, right? So going to these trees, it will teach you to kind of maybe you first start off with like just punching trees down. It takes a certain amount of time to punch trees down, and then each time you punch a certain amount of trees or something, you get sticks. You could start to collect sticks, right? So then you're like, oh, what are these sticks do, right? But like it shouldn't be as easy as just punching these trees. Maybe like then we also have like animals around these trees that are kind of like attack you if you come too close, right? So that way it's kind of teaching you, oh, there's like some fighting aspect to this too. Now there's like enemies I have to fight, right? So then those sticks that you collect from like the wood chopping, you find out later that you can craft these into like a sword that you can attack these enemies better with, et cetera, right? And they all kind of tie in together. So little things like that, I think, like you keep mentioning, like the wonder of it, right? I think that's like a really good point. Um, and the one thing you also mentioned too is like all of these things also tie in, are good because they do tie in with that, like it gives us content, right? Social media content and stuff like that too, which will be like basically like a good way for us to market everything and stuff like that too, right? Which just smoothly transitions us to like the marketing we can do easily and stuff like that too, right? So all valid good points. Uh, yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add? I think you just hit on all the great points.
No, there's nothing else right now. I just wanted to make sure, because I've always been the kind of person, I've been good at guiding people. So I've like any kind of project I've ever been in, I've always been the guy who's just kind of like, okay, that's good. Take everyone's kind of like what everyone's saying, everyone's advice, everyone's criticism, and kind of guide everyone into like one direction. And I think that's the kind of people we need in this community, is like people who are, who are collectively agreeing to go into one direction, and that's how the game's going to be a success. So like I said, you're doing great, man. Like this project's amazing, and
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
you don't see a lot of people out. And you talked about this earlier. You just don't see a lot of people out there who are, taking their projects to the next level. It's like a 2-day thing, and then they disappear, and you're like, dude, where'd you go? Like this could have been great. So it's finally nice to see someone, have an idea, implement their ideas, and actually make it come alive. And for people who are just showing up over the last few days, the amount of progress that he has made since 2 weeks ago is absolutely amazing. I mean, I know there's people coming in here, expand, make more land, expand the fish. Those are great ideas, and that will come. But we didn't even have fishing at one point. Like we literally, like it was literally just land.
Do you
Like
guys
we were
remember
just
the
running
first
around in
first
circles.
iterations of this game? You guys
Yeah,
remember the
there was
first
like
iterations?
nothing going on, and there was like battle arena, but it was so bugged. It was like you couldn't even really play. And
Fun
and the
times.
houses were plain. There was like nothing going on with the houses,
It was
and
just
then
patches of grass and like these ghetto like shanty tents or something. It was like it looked like the trenches, like basically. Right?
yeah, exactly. It was so plain, and then like just to see like even the thing with the pet, the pet store, and you made the little pets come alive. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that really just it doesn't even all I mean, obviously the skills matter, but when you add little things like that that liven up the game and make it feel just, make it feel alive and like stuff is actually going on even if you're not doing anything, that's the kind of stuff that people love. And so I mean
No,
even
for
as a
sure,
kid when I
100%.
played people, I don't know if anyone has played like the original Pokemon games, but like even when in like Pokemon Blue and Red, or maybe not, I don't know, maybe it wasn't Red, maybe it was like Crystal version or something like that, but you could bring your Pokemon to like the sitter house where they would like babysit your Pokemon. And when you'd walk up to the house, like it would have kind of what it looks like in your game. It would have like the Pokemon out in the backyard. And then you walk in and there's like a sitter and they're like, hey, we can, babysit your Pokemon for this much and for this long. And you come back and the Pokemon's leveled up to whatever level it is. But like it's just little things like that. And I think even like implementing different weather eventually. Maybe there's storms that happen in Pumpville, and there's just all types of things that you can do to really make this game come alive. And it's just 1 week at a time, 1 week at a time. And we can, like you said, we can vote on the different things to do. But like I said, I'm here to guide everyone. I'm here to guide you into whatever direction you think we should go. But yeah, like I said, I think we're making progress today. I think everyone's kind of on board for the whole crafting thing, to make, more skills, more things to do. I mean, that's just the main thing. More things to do is the motto right now. And once we
I
have
agree.
all
I
these
think that is the
base
motto.
Oh yeah, exactly. Once we have all these little base features, and like I said, it doesn't have to be deep, it doesn't have to be intricate and crazy, just like you did with the fishing. Just make it simple. Make it the most basic thing you can do when you implement it, and then we can build on top of that later. So that's all I gotta say for now. I'm gonna shut up.
No, no, don't shut up. I think you're perfectly like articulating everything that much better to be honest. So yeah, I think you should continue talking. Twist off. Yep,
Hey, mine's
you have
quick.
anything?
Yeah, mine was quick. So like as we've been all repeatedly saying in this town hall, so like things keep coming up like crafting, mining, etc., right? So what I'm thinking about in response is having like I'll use an example first, but then ask the question like have a mini town hall that's just like mining. And then we all just talk about mining and work out the details of what exactly will be done to develop that and then have like just crafting and like instead of it being like a big long one be a mini town hall, but like the question is should it be a town hall, should it be a channel, should it be like how will we go about taking all of our ideas and organizing them into things that we can focus on as a group to actually work out the particulars and get them done in an efficient way.
I think that's a great idea, to be honest. I think that's a better way to like if we have everything like kind of organized, like maybe for example, if like we can maybe have like a separate section just for like weekly progress or something like that, right? Where we introduce what we're gonna work on for the week. And then maybe in that section for that week, we can open up like different channels. Like let's say we have like crafting, hunting, whatever things that you guys kind of want to do, we can open up like all the different channels for those specific things, right? And then as a community, yeah, that would help us out a lot too, because there's so little time in a day. Like maybe whoever wants to contribute or whoever wants to has an idea, you guys can all kind of like just chat like within those specific things, so everything is more kind of organized and specific, right? So if there's like a crafting a channel, then anyone who wants to input, like that way we can as a community kind of start to build these things like a lot quicker, or have an idea of like how that system should work. Then all I would do is just kind of look at it, and then or if someone wants to take charge in those specific channels, like I could just look at it, they can report back and be like, hey, listen, I think this is what the community wants, blah blah blah. It's actually easier for me to build out these small things, like even if they're ghetto, even if they're just very basic, but have those down. That's actually easier for me to kind of, I guess, work on that way. Um, so yeah, I guess that might be a good idea, to be honest. I don't know if we have to necessarily. We could have like voice chats in there too, if you guys want, but I think that would be a good way to, yeah, just really.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not necessarily locked down to one specific way. I just wanted to bring up, pose the question of if we figure out whatever's the best way to go about doing that.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with the organization twist off. I agree with what you're saying. I guess the best way to do it is we all have a poll, right? But maybe there's three different things at the beginning of the week. Maybe even tonight we start the poll. And the poll says, okay, what's the next thing we should work on? And I guess, you know, we kind of list the things that everyone started naming. Let's say some crafting of some sorts, cooking, and then let's say wood chopping. Let's just name those three. I'm just throwing them out there. And then whatever wins, let's just say it's the wood cutting, then on Monday we have another meeting and we go over what we think the basic of the wood cutting should be for this week. And we try to keep it, at a level where it's not too crazy so it can be done and it can get done this week. And then after we're done with it, we move on to the next skill in the next week. So that's a good idea, where we can kind of have like another meeting on what we're about to do or what we're about to implement, so we can kind of have more of a guidance and like know what we're expecting. And I think that's a good idea for the dev mostly, so he's not like thinking like, okay, what else do I need to add? It kind of gets everyone on the same foot. So
And no, that's a great point. I think that'd also be a good way to bring the community together as well. Also, like I do, like obviously, I want everyone to feel like, grow an attachment to the game. Whether you have an idea or something, maybe that idea gets used. Like make it feel like it's part of like your baby as well, right? That way everyone's just more involved with the game and stuff. But I think, yeah, if we can organize it like that, I think that would be a lot better. I just didn't really know like who would be down to do it, but after like hearing you guys concern, I think there definitely are a lot of you that would be willing to take charge and like kind of. I see a lot of great ideas from everyone, but it just gets like very hectic right now for me to organize all this because it's all over the place. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it,
no, exactly. For me, I see you being cognizant of all the stuff that we're talking about, but I can imagine it's so much for you. Like you're getting
oh
every
yeah,
single person's input all at once, and it's like, how can
it's
like
definitely
you
overwhelming
understand
for
it all, but
sure.
how can you like you can't communicate like your understanding of everything all at the same time to people, even though you are cognizant of everything that everyone's bringing up, most likely before they even bring it up. That's how I would
No,
envision
100%.
your position is right now? So it's like for
Yeah,
me,
that's
I'm
that's
coming
exactly
more
what
from the
it is.
stand
Yeah, it's
yeah, I'm coming from more from the standpoint of understanding that you have, 24 hours in a day and one voice to communicate with everybody, and you're working on the game and a million awesome new things all the time, and like to try to respond to that, to like want to help take, through you take on some of the stuff to like try to help get more of it done in a shorter amount of time. That's all.
100%. I think that's a good idea. And yeah, if people are down to contribute and stuff, we can use all the help we can, honestly, because the more hands of more people that can help, like the faster that we can get things done. You know, because I know a lot of people are very like at the same time. I know there's a bunch of passionate bunch of you, but at the same time, I know there are still people that are, you know, like someone mentioned in the chat earlier, it's like a token, right? So people are like they get like a little antsy if things aren't nothing's happening. You know, when's the marketing? When, you know, do this, do that, do this, do that. You know, it's just trying. It's just a little difficult to try to convince people that like don't worry, that's coming, but we have like we're trying to build this foundation first, you know, so that's what we're trying to kind of articulate here.
Yeah,
Because
I agree with that a lot. I mean, you got to build the foundation first. I mean, it wouldn't really make sense if we went out there and we started putting money into marketing right now. I mean, there's there's not much of a game. Not to say you haven't made progress, but like on the bigger like realization of everything, there's not much of a game loop right now. So the best thing that we can do is focus on one thing at a time. And that's, that's how most single developers do it. I mean, the guy who made Stardew Valley, he made that all by himself. And he wasn't implementing 25 different things at once. He was working on one thing at a time. And over the course of, I think it was 4 or 5 years, after implementing a little thing here, a little thing there, it all came together. So I mean, that's the best way to do it, especially since it's really just you and your wife, and she's doing the art and you're doing the coding. You got to really just work on one thing at a time, make it good, and then work on something else. And then once we have a good game loop, that's when you really start pushing the marketing out. As far as the token price is going to mirror the amount of work you put into the game. If you start marketing right now, you're going to have some people come in and just put some money into it. When the price goes up, they're just going to dump and take their profits and leave. They have no reason to stay because they haven't seen the vision. They haven't seen the bigger picture. So the best thing we can do is work on, a skill here, a skill there, some quest here, some quest there. And then once we have a really good meat and potatoes of the game, then we can market it and be like, look, we have this full game right here that there's freaking 15 different skills you can do, and you can level up and you can get these special items, and then they have all this stuff they can do. So I agree. A little, one thing at a time, it'll add up. We can do the marketing, and then we can kind of flesh it all out and then start really pushing the project. So
no, for sure, exactly. Because like you said, like we, of course, like obviously volume and like token price going up is good, but at the same time, it's like we don't want just like a bunch of pump and dumpers in the token just to drive up the chart a little bit, you know? When like maybe they won't even play the game, right? Maybe they don't know exactly what's going on. They don't even know why, you know, what this project's about. Like what can they do? Once we like the moment that you start to have like an attachment to the project or some sort of like need to want to help the project, that's when like, you know, those are like the real holders who will get benefited the most at the end, or people who just believe in the same vision, right? That's why we're trying to kind of we want to make sure everyone who is here for the ride with us is kind of understands that we're all on the same page, right? Because yeah, I do realize we are in Pump Fun, the place of just pure degenerates, you know. That's what Pump Fun is, but we're trying to do something different within Pump Fun, right? At the very least, you know, if you're very worried about the token prices and whatnot, and you really feel an urge that we need to market ASAP, you know, just at least one thing you can feel safe is like you got this is a project at least you can sleep on your bags properly because we have like a lot of dedicated holders who are holding the floor down. We know we have a lot of people who definitely do seem like they're on the same page as us. That's why, you know, early supporters, there's been so many early supporters who have been just holding their bags, like diamond handing this, right? Because there are like so many other things like we can do with marketing when we're ready. But like, yeah, I mean, it's that's why, you know, we're having stuff like this, the town halls, because we want everyone to be on the same page to understand.
to,
Like,
to answer
all right,
Sabal, yeah, everyone in Pump Up wants to earn. Well, you could say that about the whole crypto market, like the whole crypto community. Everyone is in this to earn money. I mean, you could say that about everyone. But the good thing about Pump Fund is Pump Fund has the volume, it has the investors. If you just look at the market, most of the people who are investing in projects, they're investing in Pump Fund coins. The Bonk is there too, and there's some other launch pads, but Pump Fund is really generating all the volume. So that's why it's good that this coin is on Pump Fund, is because we got eyes on it. And I can guarantee you right now, there are people who have this saved on their Axiom portfolio and their favorites, or they have it saved on some other app and they're just watching it and they're observing, and there's whales out there who have not invested yet because they're waiting for it to get to a certain number to invest. And that's going to all come in time. I mean, you can't rush these type of things. It's like the difference between this coin and like a coin like Troll Face or a coin like Pepe is we're not a meme. So the pricing is going to be different for our coin. It's not going to go to 2 million in the matter of a few days, because theirs is more basic. Theirs is based on a meme and, you know, the people just believing in that meme and, how funny it is or what the lore of it is. With us, we have a coin that's dedicated to basically a video game. It's dedicated to a blockchain game. And so this is going to be a lot different. It's going to be based on how well the game is developed, what you can do in the game. Does it retain its players? Is the dev active? How passionate is the community? There's a lot more going on with this project than just like a regular meme project. So, yeah, there's people on Pump Fund. All they want is to, they want to flip a sol and leave. But what we're looking to do, and like the dev said earlier, we're looking to retain people. We want people to come into the project and be like, dude, this game is awesome. I love this community. I want to stay here. And that's going to build momentum. Because right now, I think someone mentioned it earlier, we only have about 15 active players. But we've had, it's gone up and down. But we have people coming in here and they're playing for a little bit. Maybe they have a bag. The price goes up, they dump and they leave. So I mean, like marketing right now is not going to fix that, man. I know it's easy to be like, oh, dude, let's market right now so we can get the price up, but it's just gonna go back down. And if it
Yeah,
goes back
before
down, it'll probably be at the same price it is now. So the best thing to do is the foundation, get more retainers, get more holders. I mean, I think the last time I checked, we're only at 300 holders. That's not a lot. It really isn't for a coin. So I mean, we got to at least get to 1,000 holders before things start really taking off. We need people to stick around. So.
I wanted to speak to the marketing thing before we get away from it. Um, and to speak on something where the influence of everyone else has even changed my view a little bit. And that's the distinction between marketing and rating. Because I've been saying for a long time, I agree with you about like that, what I consider marketing, like what I learned in college about marketing, is something that when everyone was saying one marketing, I see that being something later on down the line. Um, but basically, since you're talking about pump fun and the pump and dump element and everything, I guess what I will say though is like we had a consistent 20 to 30,000 market cap, right? And everyone was wanting to raid right away and doing everything right away, and I was kind of resistant to it, you know. And then like initially, I'm like, oh, here comes the pump. It's gonna dump, you know, because it happened. But like one thing that I did realize though, or at least want to acknowledge, is that like yes, most of those people are going to pump and dump, but the pump does put the coin in sections to where like maybe somebody who's a holder or someone that wants to is in sync with what this like what the identity of this project is will see it and will hold, or they might have not held before. So it's more of like a 90% pump, 90% dump, and then we retain these 10% of people that kind of came with the current, which is why now our floor market cap is higher than 20 or 30. So it's like I definitely agree that the marketing thing should maybe come later, but like the rating thing actually taught me a little bit about like the benefit of surging a little bit of attention to the coin in a calculated way that
Oh
can
yeah,
help us
absolutely,
find
twist off.
some of those long-term holders just because it just puts it on their list to even know that it exists.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you bring up a good. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you want to talk? Sorry.
I was just gonna say real quick, yeah, I mean, rating is free. So I mean, I've been rating literally all day. Like I didn't get any sleep last night. I've been up like forever, and I've just been going under like new trending posts that were just posted by people with big accounts and just posting what our project's about. I've been tagging Pumpville community, and I've been, putting different hashtags and everything, and leading them to our community, and just like basically saying, "Hey, look, this is this new game on Pump or on Solana, and it's 2 weeks old. It's sitting at 117 market cap, whatever. And the dev is active. Just talking about it, and just doing that, like you were talking about, Twist Off. You get these little waves. You get these little waves of pumps on the chart. I mean, we saw it today, and those little waves, those retain people over time. Not because of the game. That, like I said, the foundation is important, but those organic waves from just promoting it on X just by rating stuff and telling people about it, that's something we should all be doing. Every single one of us. If everyone gets on their X account every day and just makes a few posts, it doesn't have to be a million posts. Just make one or two posts, and then everyone who's in the community, as much as we can, everyone just retweets and then just likes those posts and puts a simple comment under it. That's how you get traction. So if you want the price to go up, you just have to kind of work for your bag a little bit. And I think everyone should be doing that. I mean, we don't have to pay for marketing right now. You pay for marketing later when the foundation's there, and then that's when it really gets to those bigger numbers. So
Another well said. You just keep uh like articulating it perfectly. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the distinction. I guess people are just getting confused because I guess people have different ideas of what exactly they expect when they're saying things like when marketing, etc. Right? Marketing comes in all different forms. Like you just mentioned, like rating. That's like just something that people you can do freely, like if you really believe in the project, if you want your bags to pump also too, right? Like rating is like a free way to do it, right? And then it brings us closer as a community. We do definitely want to like implement like creative ways to get rated, like we did have like influencer skins that we had ready that we could just like once we have a solid rating crew or people are starting to raid consistently, like even all the avatars that we have, these are all different communities, like Mudang, for example, right? We could start rating all Mudang like community members and stuff like that. We did actually have on Twitter, like another community actually did reach out to us, right? Um, so they reached out asking if we can make like a sprite for them, right? So it's let me show you guys. It's the Shy on Soul community. I think they're sitting at about like 400K or something. But yeah, they reached out to us on Twitter and they were like, "Hey, we saw your project. We think you're doing something special." And then they were asking if they could get like their like this Reaper character. You know what I mean? So that brings more of their community members into our project and stuff like that too. And that just increases users every day, right? Little things like that. These are little things that maybe like the community can do together. In the meantime, while we do wait for like the when the time is right to do like the proper push. And like you mentioned before, this is not like a typical pump fund coin, right? I think that's the distinction that a lot of people have to make. Um, but yeah, we do have like a lot of ideas for like rating and stuff like that too, right? All it takes honestly is just one person like with a big decent following to start the snowball effect, right? Once it gets noticed and stuff like that. But yeah,
dude, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying earlier. I was like, dude, that's all it takes is just one person. And that's why I'm posting so much in X. Like, if I spend one full day posting and one guy sees it, just one guy with like, he could have 100,000 followers and he likes what we're doing and he tells all his friends, or he has a call where he calls it out and like, hey, check this out. Then that's gonna be a wave of people that come in. It's gonna shoot up to what, could be 500K, could be 600K. It's going to come back down, but it's going to create a new floor, like Twistoff was talking about. And that's the kind of stuff that we need to be focusing on while we're developing the game. But if we start, I mean, I've seen it so many times, I'm telling you. I've been in so many projects, I've been in crypto for a while. You start marketing, you start doing boosts early in these stages for this type of project where it's a game, nothing's going to happen. It might go up in price, but most of it is going to come down. But if you do the organic stuff where you just do raids and you show people what you got and where you're at, that's going to be the organic growth. That's when you're going to get the new floors that actually matter. So, save the boosting, save the marketing and the ads and all that crap. Save all that stuff for a few months out, man. Let's actually create some solid gameplay and then we can worry about that. And there will be a lot of us who will help with that too. I mean, I'll make you can go on X and make a post and promote the post. I'll do stuff like that out of my pocket just for a game that I love. So, you know, I mean, that's going to be down the line. Like I said, there's no need to rush that, but yeah, Mello, you're gonna get people in here who are like that. They're gonna come in here and be like, "When marketing,"
Oh,
when
trust me,
moon.
I
It's
see it
like,
all the time. I see it at least like once a day. It's
yeah.
just
So just
it's tough to,
don't
it's
let
just
it put.
kind of hard to explain like at the moment. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah,
we hear you, we hear you. Don't worry, the marketing will come. But it just now is not like the time. And I think people are forgetting that like we are still a very like young project. It's still early phases, and like all of this has been like completely organic, right? I think people fail to realize that just like I think last week or was it even like maybe almost 2 weeks ago, we were sitting at like a 20K floor,
dude, we went down to like
20, 30K.
16K.
Yeah, it
We
went
were
down
like,
to like the death zone,
yeah.
like that's like almost 10K area, I think it was, right? Or something like that. It was
Well, that's
like
what I'm saying. With
grim times.
organic growth, like there's projects that just sit at 15K for months. Like we're already in over 100K. Like that's incredible for organic growth. Like that's insane.
Exactly. This is with zero marketing, mind you. Like we did no marketing whatsoever. All we've been doing is just working our asses off on this game, trying to kind of get people to understand the vision and like understand that this is like something that we're really truly taking our time to make sure that it like we always reiterate foundation, 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 but I just don't know what other word to use for it. It's yeah, and like if we can do this with zero marketing and like pure organic like this growth like yeah like I'm still like stoked to see every day that we're above 50K. You know what I mean? We were at 50K, 30K, 20, 30K for like the longest time. I don't remember how long it was, and then out of nowhere we keep reaching new floors. Whatever goes up always will come down, you know, but at least we're maintaining new floors. So just the progress, like again, you're not going to see the same speed of growth that you see with other meme coins because this is not like necessarily like a meme coin per se. You know what I mean? Like those, they obviously see those quick boosts that everyone in pump funds used to because most of those meme coins are run off narratives, but at the same light. That's why a lot of those meme coins die so quickly too because they're just narratives. You know what I mean? So those ones, the moment the narrative's gone or is no longer relevant, they don't have any other like thing to fall back on, right? Whereas like it's a slow and steady climb for sure, but in the long term, like it's just bigger benefits to everybody that's involved, right? Because yeah,
Oh yeah,
sorry,
definitely.
go on.
And like for this type of project, and I've been in many different type of projects before. It's a slow climb to the first million. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a slow climb to the first million. It might take a few months, it might take 3, 4 months. But listen, once you hit that million, once you hit that, because that's people don't understand that that's a big indicator that a project is serious. Especially if they look at the graph and they see that it hit a million over the course of so many weeks or so many months, and then they check out the project and see what it is. Once you hit that million, that's when the big people, the whales come in, and that's when they start looking at the project and they start throwing around $10,000, $15,000 bags. And that's when it can really shoot up. So it's better to wait it out, have this organic growth happen over time, like we're talking about. And then when we get there, that's when things get serious. But like I said, I'll I'll help with that kind of stuff when new people come in and they start asking, when this, when that. There's a lot of us in here who've been here since day one who know what's going on. So it's going to be up to the community, people who have been here for a while, to kind of update everyone and be like, hey, look, that's coming. This is our plan. That's coming, so.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Wait, oh my god, I missed so much of the chat. But I just see someone tagged me. Hawk, are you currently open to interns? Yes, we're open to any sort of help. Currently, that would be any help possible we can get. We are totally open to it. So you can shoot me a DM if you're very interested, or if you want to just reach out to me. We're always on Discord, I mean, some people didn't understand why we decided to use Discord instead of Telegram. But like, have you seen? I just don't know. Like, Discord just is so much better organized. It just like feels more like a community. You know what I mean? So I know we definitely need to keep our Telegram active and stuff like that too. But like, we're just here most of the time. That like, I don't know if it just seems like pure scammers all on Telegram. We can discuss that another time. But yes. What else? What else? Let's see. Only 2 new players per day. That's too slow growth. I mean, I agree. Like it is a slow growth, slow and steady. I mean, if you have suggestions, Sabao, on like what exactly we can do, I know people say marketing, marketing, but they fail to realize also too. It's like marketing requires budget. You know what I mean? Where would we get this from? Right? There's a lot of factors that lead into marketing and everything too, right? But yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh my God, we kind of went into some deep discussions here, so I didn't realize the time. Does anyone else have any questions right now before we move on? I guess and kind of wrap things up as well. But these are all good discussions, right? Like I want to hear for everyone's input. Yeah, I didn't even realize it's been 2 hours. Like I don't want to keep you guys here too long because it's Sunday. I know you guys have better things to do, but we appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedules. I do want to kind of get through some quick other points. We did get most of the stuff we want to talk about out of the way. Let's see. Let me just go through my thing. Oh yes. So one other thing I think that needed to be discussed was like, I believe it was Crusader mentioned, brought up the idea of like a bank system within Pump Fund where like it's just easier for people to transfer, like let's say Pump Fund into like a different like another currency that's specifically for like premium items, or that's like the equivalent of Pumpville. Because I think the annoyance is that like you have to sign transactions every single time that you buy something with Pumpville. But the main point is we want to encourage the usage and spending of Pumpville so that we can implement that into our burn. The supply gets deflationary, stuff like that, right? So that is something that we did want to talk about. Like I think is Crusader here? Yes, Crusader. I see you. Let's see. I don't know if you want to speak, Crusader. You don't have to if you don't want to. Oh, you're gonna speak. Nice. Okay, perfect. Sorry, guys. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but this part is next kind of important. So,
Hello, hello.
let's. Crusader, hi. What's up?
Hi, nice to meet you. Hi.
Nice to meet you. Finally.
Yeah,
Yes.
the bank system. Yeah, I really like to transfer my coins at one transaction. So this is basically the point.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. It's just like right now the gold, like the in-game coin, like the coin system, right? That one's like you can buy things super quick, right? Because it's not like you don't need to sign a transaction or anything like that. So your idea that you did kind of implement, if we had like a bank or something, like a Pumpville bank, right? I just
Yes.
wanted to kind of, because I know you brought up the idea, but I just wanted to kind of like make sure I totally understand what you were trying to say.
Hmm. So
So if
basically,
you,
so
yes,
basically you have a bank wallet So that's a different wallet than the burn wallet, just a bank wallet where people can transfer in game, so your Pumpville coins to this bank wallet, and then it's displayed on your game. So that's your second currency. It's not the gold, it's a Pumpville gold. I don't know.
I guess we
And
could call
then,
it. Let's just say, yeah,
yeah,
it's just different currency. But continue.
yeah,
Sorry.
different currency. Yeah, and if you spend it on the shop, you don't have to confirm the transaction because you are already done that with this, I don't know, 100k tokens. And then the bank wallet transfers the tokens to the burn wallet. I don't know if it's that possible.
If the bank wallet transfers to the burn wallet.
Yeah, automatically.
So
If
this is
you
okay. I
make,
think this is
yeah,
where I think I was getting a little confused, right? Like,
mhm.
basically, are you saying that every player gets their own bank wallet,
No, there's one.
or is a
Yes, or
central
yes,
bank
yes, yes,
wallet?
yes. It's one central bank wallet, basically.
Yes. And basically, yeah, I think the main point was that just making it easier. Instead of every time you want to buy something, you have to confirm a transaction. It's more like you go to the bank, this one central place, and then you transfer. Let's just say like I want like 100,000 Pumpville tokens all in my wallet, my
Yes.
in-game
Yeah.
wallet, right?
Then I buy the
Uh,
Trump avatar, and that's only 50k. And I was like, ah, okay, that's nice, but I want the 50k Pumpfree tokens back, so I can transfer from the bank wallet back to my wallet. That's possible. But after you spend it, the 50k you spent on the avatar for the Trump avatar, you can't transfer it back because they are spent and it's burnt.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that was like the main thing we were trying to figure out last time was like, if it is kind of like the system, you want to have people be able to withdraw that back, right? So I guess that's where the tricky part of this all is, right? So I think like it is like still a great idea to have like one central system where you can just transfer all the pump fill that you want to spend like in the shops into like let's just call it gold, right? That's the pump fill equivalent, and then you buy things with gold, right?
Mhm.
And then the transactions would be like just like instant, like
Yes. Yes.
like exactly how the gold coins are, right? um but yeah, the only tricky part is having to withdraw that pump fill back, right? I think Barak was saying that some of the games he plays, it's just like a one-way thing. Like you just whatever you swap into the in-game like gold, which is like the premium currency, um, you can't swap back, right? So you're only essentially going to the bank to just swap out as much as possible, so that within the game, you don't have to confirm transactions anymore. It's just like a one-time thing. Anytime that you want to kind of spend. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking about this part now. That's
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
crucial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I thought you were gonna. I
That's
thought you were gonna say
crucial
something. So
part.
that's why I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
waiting. No.
I'm thinking.
But do you understand? This is where it gets a little
Yes,
tricky,
yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes.
Especially because like we also have that burn mechanism. We cannot freely just have like, oh, I'm gonna transfer 100,000 Pumpville tokens to this gold, but let's say I don't want to buy anything anymore. I want my Pumpville tokens back. So then they would have to withdraw it back.
Yes. Eh,
That's the tricky part.
Yeah, if I don't know if this is possible. So you can also say you can withdraw only once per week or something like that, that people don't deposit and withdraw 100 times in a minute, so to crash the system or something like that. But it would be a really big thing if you can just deposit your Pumpful tokens and get it back at a time. So it's like you can earn some tokens. It would be very easy if you just said there is a really rare treasure around the map with, I don't know, 10,000 Pumpful tokens.
Mhm.
And you get these tokens right into your bank account. So you can keep it there, or you just say, I want to sell it, so I can transfer it once per week, just for example, back to my account. I'm logged in anyways with my wallet, so the bank knows my wallet and can send it back.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think like I definitely would. I'll definitely have to look into this a little bit more because this is like the thing with the tricky part about this is like with this bank type system. If we were to make it like that, where you could just withdraw back and forth, swap back and forth anytime you want to, we need to be very very careful and like make sure that it's like 100% secure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
So
this
like
could crash the game. Yeah,
exactly, right? And then it's like even just like yeah, like there's just a lot more security and stuff like that that needs to be taken into account, right?
mm.
So if it was just like maybe like just some sort of system where it's just like you go to the
So I,
bank and then
I,
you only want to, oh sorry, were you about to say something?
uh, I don't know if you saw the idea of the lottery ticket.
Yes, that was a great idea. That was a great
Yeah,
idea.
so you have the bank, and people are saying like, I have like 100,000 tokens, and the lottery ticket like 10,000 tokens. I can spend 10,000 tokens, and after a day, one winner gets the from the 10 people who betted on this gets the 100K. So
I think that's a
that
great idea.
there is a way that people can withdraw this,
Uh-huh.
but from the bank account. So or just spend it on skins. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Um, no, I think that's a great idea too, right? Because that will have more incentive for like Pumpville to be like kind of used within the game economy,
Yeah.
right?
Obviously, there
Because
has
like
to be a fee. Obviously, there has to be a fee, like
yeah, no, for sure,
5%.
there has to be
Yeah,
like a bank
yeah, yeah.
fee or something,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes. But either way, like that way it's kind of also like just pooled by people who want to play it, right? And it also kind of makes it fun for people. If there is like I don't know if it'd be like a daily lottery or more like a weekly lottery. I
There
guess
can be
like
different. One big weekly lottery, and
yeah, exactly. Like in
yeah,
real life, right?
you get it. Exactly.
Like in real life. Maybe we can have like
Probably
scratch
sometimes you
tickets
can have
too.
some avatar, rare avatar giveaways, like
Oh yeah, exactly, right? I mean that could keep things fun and have people kind of sticking around as well, maybe, you know, because we do also want to incorporate these types of like gambling degenerate. Like everyone on Puff Fun is like essentially a gambler, right? Like a
yeah,
a
obviously, yeah.
degen. So the more things like you know that's why people want the casino and stuff, right? So the more things you can do with this, that only increases like the burn wallet and just the treasury wallet in general. It just gets bigger and bigger, which will allow us to you know when for example everyone who's like marketing like those could be the funds that we can use for that and stuff like that too, right? So it just like all works together, like everything kind of comes together, right? So yeah, I do want to really figure out this like bank system. I think maybe like in the beginning it could just be like a simple thing where you just are able to swap however many pump fill you want to use, um, just so that it makes the shopping experience at least where you don't have to any item that you want to buy like have to sign the transaction each time, right? So that could take care of that. And then later on, like we can implement if we figure out a way to like have the withdrawal system that could kind of turn into that as well. But yeah, I was just Christina, I was just wondering if you had any other like ideas. We were talking about it before, but if there was anything that like you know you thought, because I did want to hear your opinion on that. Had to leave the stage, Todd. Oh no, okay, no worries, no worries. Thanks for your time, Crusader. Yeah, we'll talk more for sure. Let's see. what other things? Let's see now. Um, instant burning mechanism for latest lesson. In-game purchases will be huge too, so we can see the coin being burned in real time. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we just got to keep encouraging the usage of Pumpville and then burning it, right? So, we definitely are planning to do the burn. I think we should do it tomorrow, to be honest. Um, so we'll burn like our first 50% from that wallet. Like just from like the small beta testing that we've been doing with like the pricing and everything. Yeah, there's it's not like a huge amount, but it's a good amount to start burn, right? I think half the wallet right now is sitting at around like 600k tokens or something. So I think, yeah, burning the 600k or whatever's in there right now. Yeah, I think we should do that tomorrow for sure. I think it's a good idea. But yes, let's see. What other things? Yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time. I think we ended up kind of getting into really thoughtful discussions and stuff. Um, we just need Pumpville X to have more activities. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just been the main point of today's discussion. Like, we just need more shit to do. All right. So yeah, this is good. It gives us like a very clear idea of what like the community like is expecting. Does anyone have any other questions? I think I've kind of covered most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, main thing you guys need to watch out for is the website coming real soon. They'll have like all our stuff on it more clearly for people to see. Uh, yeah, we've pretty much gone over everything I wanted to talk about. I really don't want to keep you guys here too long. I can't believe it's already been like 2 hours. But yes, does anyone else have any other questions or maybe something that I might have not discussed that you would like to hear or have more questions about? Yeah, it's crazy. It's been 2 hours. Time just flies by when you're in Pumpville.
Just real quick before we end this thing, um, one thing I do agree with Sabah, or however you say his name, um, is what he's trying to say right now is he thinks the official Pumpville X account should be doing the rating. Now, I don't think the official account should be doing all the rating. I don't think you have to get on there and rate all day long. But I do agree to an extent what he's saying. I think the official account should be rating more, whether you give access to your wife or you give access to someone else in the community who can do it at different time zones. That's a good idea. And the reason I say that's a good idea is because one, you have a check mark already on the official account. And two, if you get more followers on that account, that's going to increase engagement with the community, the official community. So if we can do that a little bit more, whether it's, you know, 5 times or 10 times a day, whatever the number is, just to get those followers up on the official account and get engagement with our community, that will help too. I mean, we can all rate our individually. We can all get on the community and or our on our own accounts and go under different posts and rate individually and retweet each other's stuff, but the official account doing it is also big. So I mean, I'm not saying the dev, you as the dev need to go in there and do that. I'm not trying to make you do extra stuff because you're worried about coding and all that. But if we can figure a way to make that more active, that actually is a good idea. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah. I think like another thing I've noticed is like everyone's down. It seems like everyone is now down to like start rating. Like, I just wanted everyone like just on the same page, you know. But yeah, any type of raid is just beneficial for the project in the long term too. Uh, Yami says, in the future, you could do something like this in Twitter Spaces. Yes, Twitter Spaces. I think a lot of you has mentioned that. Yeah, I think I don't know. What do you guys think of the town hall so far? I know it was our first one, but I think like Twitter Spaces, we should try that next, maybe. Um,
Dude,
'Cause, yeah, I
Twitter
agree.
Spaces will be so good because
If we
like
get
what
like
happened.
consistent Twitter Spaces, like make this like a weekly thing or whatever, like
Dude,
that'd be really cool.
even if it's just a few times a week, like, and it's like very short, what happens is
Mhm.
you start doing this, you start getting the people who don't have Discord, and then also people who check in really quickly to the community, like just people checking it out who haven't even tried the game yet. They go to check it out and they see that there's a spaces going on. That is huge, dude. People like I've seen this happen. I've seen small communities have a spaces and some guy jumps in there with 300,000 followers and he's just like, "Hey, what's this project about?" And you give them a good pitch on the project, and the next thing you know, like like 3,000 people join the community. So I'm
No, I
I'm
agree.
just saying, X Spaces is amazing, and you should really consider doing that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I for the first one for today, I just want to make it a little more like a personal kind of vibe. Just kind of like hear everyone's opinion and stuff like that. But like yeah, I think the next one we should definitely do like a Twitter Spaces, right? I think you guys all down for that? I think if we do get it like a consistent like I don't know like weekly thing or like a couple times a week, you know, not necessarily having to like stream. Instead, maybe instead of some stream things, if I don't really have any updates, maybe we can do some Twitter Spaces. And it's just like I'm down. I'm totally down for that, right? I just don't know what the best time is for everyone, and unfortunately, like I am at work like usually most of the day, and so I'm usually home in the evenings, and I'm in the Eastern time zone, so I don't know when the best time to do it like on a consistent basis. We'd have to figure out like a thing, but I'm totally down to do like consistent Twitter Spaces, um, like anything for the project. You know, like these are all great suggestions. Like that's the thing. Like I didn't really know what the community like what you guys wanted, right? Until we held like these types of town halls, which is exactly why we decided to do this, right? I want everyone on the same page, right? Like I want everyone to be like excited about Pumpville. Like if Twitter Spaces can help with that, I'm totally down. And yeah, if you guys would show up like to like frequent Twitter Spaces, we could make it a common occurring thing. I'm 100% down. Let's see. When you stream on Pump Fun, go on X Spaces too. Like I haven't done like a Spaces like hosted or anything like that. I'm just an old man, you know. Uh, Play on Spaces. We can have arcade game while streaming. Can you stream video in Twitter Spaces? I'm sorry, I'm like such a noob with Twitter. Because if we can stream live, like what we're doing right now with the Pump Fun lives, where we play, the game, and I share like all the updates live and stuff like that. Oh, you can live stream on Twitter? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, why haven't we been live streaming on Twitter this whole time? Hmm. I'm just trying to figure out a way if I can live stream to both Twitter and Pump Fun at the same time. Oh, you can? I am not that the greatest with the technology guys, so you have to excuse me. Yeah, I'm using OBS. I didn't know you can stream on both platforms at the same time. Streamlabs, okay, yeah, that's the thing you're talking about, Quantum. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I mean that'd be perfect too. Like we could have like the Twitter Spaces, just like just how we have like our regular live streams on Pump Fun right now. And then those are pretty frequent, right? I try to make them as frequent as I can. Usually when there's like some updates or whatever. But if we just do that with Twitter, yeah, I think that could bring in some extra eyes to our project. I just didn't know that spaces were still a thing. Wait, what? We could stream to YouTube, Twitch, X, PubFun, all of it at the same time? What the fuck? The world we live in today. the world we live in today. 24/7 stream. Oh, and TikTok too. Oh my goodness. You could tell. You could know how old I am by how I'm reacting to this new age technology. Yeah, then we should definitely yeah, I'm gonna figure out this what is this thing? Dual stream? No, Streamlabs? Dual stream? What the? Whatever it is, we'll figure it out. Stream on OnlyFans too? What the